At the end of my first year, my results came out and I got a D, a E, a U and a U. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Afzal Hussain. You can find out a bit more about me through the social media links below, or you can check out my website, which is www.afzalhussain.com. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my story of how I went from a disadvantaged and underprivileged environment all the way to working for an investment bank called Goldman Sachs. Now, the reason why I want to share this journey or this story with you is because there will be some of you who come from similar backgrounds to me, some of you who might be students or graduates or not even at university yet, who need a bit of, I don't know, inspiration or motivation, and I hope that my story can kind of give you that belief to allow you to understand that you don't have to come from a specific background in order to go and get a job in a leading or a prestigious investment bank. So let's get straight into it. So I grew up in the heart of central London in a council estate. So for those of you that don't know what a council estate is, for the international viewers, a council estate is kind of like a ghetto. So I grew up in a council estate with my two older brothers, younger sister and my older sister, and so it was 5 of us, and we were raised by my mum, who was a single parent. Now my mum wasn't working, she raised us on benefits and income support, so we were on free school meals. We didn't have a household income above the average for the UK population, so we really didn't have that much wealth or anyone working in the family, so credit to my mum, she raised all 5 of us. Now the area that we grew up in, our peers and our friends were heavily involved in gang violence, drugs, crimes, in and out of prison, but fortunately, given the good parenting of my mum, me and my siblings, we focused on our studies and we were able to distinguish what was right from wrong. So in my GCSEs, I got my A's, A stars and B's, and then after GCSEs, I went to a college and I did my A levels in maths, biology, physics and geography. At the end of my first year, my results came out and I got a D, a E, a U and a U. Let me just say that again. I did maths, biology, geography and physics, and I got a D, a E, a U and a U. Now at this point I was like, oh gosh, my life is over. I don't know what to do. I'm a complete failure. My life is over, and I was just distraught. I don't know why I was surprised, because I was messing around. I wasn't really paying attention in class. I wasn't studying as hard as I should have, and I was in the wrong environment, just around the wrong people. Now that was the 1 year that I needed for me to have a wake-up call. Sometimes I think every single one of us in life, we need a wake-up call, and for me it was that point. Now I left that college and I had to decide, do I go into my second year with those poor grades and carry on, or do I leave that college and start fresh? I lose a year, but that 1 year changed my life really. And so I decided to leave that college. I went to a different sixth form and I redid that year. I decided to only do maths, biology and economics, and I managed to get my A's and B's. So all in all, it cost me an extra year, but I got my grades, and when I got my grades, I applied to various different universities and I managed to get my offer to study economics and finance at Queen Mary, University of London. I knew going into university that I'm not at Oxford, Cambridge, LSE or Harvard or any elite university, and I wanted to go into the world of banking and finance. Now, in order to get there, there was one thing that I needed to do, and that wasn't just get amazing grades, it was to prioritize work experience. So my game plan going into university was to get as many spring weeks or insight weeks, as well as internships as possible, in order to stand a chance to land a job at the Goldman Sachs of the world. Now, I went into my first year of university and I just prioritized these things called spring weeks or insight weeks. These are available for first year university students, where you do 1 week's work experience in March, April at a leading investment bank or financial institution or consulting firm. So at the end of my first year, I managed to secure insight weeks at RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland, PwC. I networked and got one at EDF Trading, and I leveraged my mentor relationship and got one at BlackRock. So by the end of my first year, my CV had RBS, PwC, EDF Trading and BlackRock, all on there as Insight Week experience. So when it came to my second year of university, when I was applying for internships, the organizations that were looking at my CV could see, okay, this guy is quite keen, he's got relevant Insight Weeks and work experience, let's invite him in for an interview. And so that really helped me. The first year strategy that I had of getting as many spring weeks and leveraging my networks as possible allowed me to position myself well for applying for second year internships. When I spent time at BlackRock, who are the largest asset manager in the world, I realized that this is what I was interested in, this is what I wanted to do, and specifically in the sales part of the business. And so when it came to my second year of my degree, when it was time to apply for internships, I prioritized asset management internships. And then I managed to get an interview for Goldman. So Goldman Sachs don't do online assessments, numerical tests, psychometric tests of any sort. It's more, they review your cover letter and your CV. So it's a 300-word cover letter and a CV, usually one page. If they like what they see, they invite you in for an interview. Now, because they don't do assessment centers and online tests, their interviews are quite rigorous. I really give my success to getting an offer for the internship down to my genuine interest in asset management. So the interviews actually went very well. They were competency-based and technical and brain teaser type interviews. And so I was well prepared and I showed a genuine interest in asset management, and I managed to go on and secure an internship offer for my second year of university. So in summer of 2013, I spent 10 weeks at Goldman Sachs in the asset management business, interning and getting to know the business, learning as much as I could. Fortunately, I performed well on my 10-week summer internship, which meant that Goldman said to me, after you graduate, come and join us full-time. And obviously I was over the moon, ecstatic. I didn't need to apply for any more graduate schemes in my final year at university because I was happy with that offer. And so when I graduated in 2014 in summer, I joined Goldman straight away. They flew us out to New York for, I think it was 5 weeks, and we did like training. You end up just chilling and having fun, meeting all the other analysts from all the other offices all over the world. And it's really exciting, fun, and you're just meeting lots of people, which is always great. Now, so that's kind of my journey from council estate to Goldman Sachs. And honestly, if I can do it, don't forget, I completely messed up my AS levels. I've got a DE, a U, and a U. If I can do it, then literally anyone can do it. You just need to put in a combination of hard work, dedication, perseverance, consistency, and most importantly, finding that one thing that you're genuinely interested in. Because if I was trying to fake it and go and work on the trading floor when I wasn't actually interested in trading, there was no way I was going to pass the interviews. If I tried to fake it and go and pretend like I really enjoyed or found interesting the work that the M&A teams were doing in the investment banking division, I wouldn't have passed the interviews. But because I found an area of interest to me, asset management, I was able to go into the interviews and have genuine conversations with the people interviewing me across seniority and perform well. And as a result, naturally, people who are in the industry, they can tell if when they're interviewing someone, if that person is genuine or if they're just faking it or reading off a memorized script. So it's important to find that one thing that you, as a student, can see yourself working in or find genuinely interesting, because then the rest becomes easy. You read the right books, you read the right news articles, you research in your spare time on the internet, and all of that comes into your artillery in your interviews, and so naturally you outperform. And that was the case for me, and that's kind of how I went from A to B. Hopefully this has been an interesting video for you. If you have enjoyed listening to my journey, do give this video a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, do please consider subscribing to the channel. If you've got any video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. From me, I want to say a huge thank you for watching this, and I will see you in the next video next week, Wednesday. Peace!